Welcome back to The Vocalist. Today we are listening to the band Gojira. I did not see the Olympic Opening Ceremonies, so this will be my first time hearing them. We are going to start with a live performance from 2010, and the song is The Art of Dying. Here we go. Oh golly. I'm not gonna go back. I'm gonna try not to go back. What I loved about the intro to this song was the organized chaos. Yes, you could kind of latch onto the beat with what we were hearing in the drums at the beginning. I'm going back because I want to hear that again. Let me see if I can find where that starts. Actually, that's exactly it. So we get this, I don't know exactly what's happening in the percussion section right here, aside from like what I'm hearing rhythmically. I don't know what instruments are being used, but it's almost got sort of like that muted cowbell effect, that sort of clicking sound at the beginning of this, and that felt a little chaotic. And then we get this incredible drone sound. I'm assuming it's, well, I don't know if it's one of the vocalists on stage or if it was like a pre-recorded track. Either way, it comes in and out, and it starts to morph like the overall ambiance of what you're hearing. And then in this section, that chaotic introduction starts to feel like it gets a little bit more organized and a little bit more grounded in a consistent tempo. and then that like sort of whoosh of air, and the effects, the tiny little effects that are happening, I think are just such, were like a full minute of an introduction into what's about to happen. I think this is just brilliant. I am so mesmerized by what's happening in the drums right now. It's just so interesting to latch onto and to listen and, you know, figure out the timing of everything. I mean, again, we're getting like a consistent beat, but it does sound like there's meter changes, or at the very least, he's, the way he's, I don't know, like the notes themselves might be giving the perception of meter changes. You know, when instead of using steady eighth notes, quarter notes, etc., when you get those duples and triples and all these different combinations, I would have to go back and really sit down and analyze what I'm hearing to figure out the actual timing of it. But either way, it's just so interesting. And then with the guitar and whatever other instruments I'm hearing, it just feels like there's this build happening, although it's very, golly, kind of like reserved. It's a really slow stretch, almost just like, you know, pulling a rubber band and waiting for it to snap on you. That's what it's kind of giving me. And then we get this incredible harsh vocal. It sounded like it was a lot of false chord engagement. It's just, the way this is building is very cool. There was some figure that almost, oh yeah, it's like a stick figure that's, I don't know if that's supposed to be a witch or what it is, but I was a little distracted by that. Something that's very, well, you guys know, I love, there's so many different genres of metal music, so many different styles of metal music, and I imagine they have a lot of variety within their own music and their own albums. But the thing I'm liking about this particular song is it's got this really grungy, it's just like trudging along. It feels so stretched and so heavy. So you can really like just like get into it. The other interesting thing is I like the space between each vocal line. I don't know that I hear that as often with a number of metal songs. I feel like it's just, as soon as they start, it is nonstop. And so it's really interesting to have time to hear the vocals, to absorb the vocals, and then enjoy some of the music in between. So that's interesting to me. But yeah, I want to catch this figure again on stage. It's almost, I know he's speaking, but it's almost like he's harmonizing with himself. It's got that sort of reverb, echoey effect, which is why I think there's both true and false chord engagement, but I don't know for sure. That shift was really cool. Again, so much richness and depth in the lines that were before this, and then it almost sounds like he's ascending just because we're getting a thinning of the sound. It feels a little brighter. It feels like the placement is a little higher. I need to go back. I can understand a lot of what he's saying, but I think I need to go back and read the lyrics in full and then come back and watch again, just so I can make sure I'm understanding the full context of this piece. Let me go back. There's so many different things, so many different elements that you could spend the entire song listening to one element and then have to go back and listen a dozen more times. I was distracted by his vocals for a bit. I really like the contrast that he's given between that deeper placement. It feels a little further back, and then when we have more of that brightness. But then toward the end of it, that brighter sound helped me to sort of tune into what was happening in the drums, and it's just, I don't know, there's just a lot going on. Oh my goodness. We still have like 2.5 minutes. I am exhausted. The intensity is so, it is so high and yet so persistent. Oh my gosh, this is a lot. I know that various forms of editing can happen, you know, post-production with videos like this of live performances, but this is a very, it just feels very clean and very complete in the live performance. I think that, I don't know, sometimes I feel that with certain metal songs that I've heard thus far, it's better to hear the studio recording. I don't feel that way with this. I feel like it is just an incredibly well-performed live performance. Everything that they did with the sound and the mixing and obviously their playing is just top-notch. Gosh, okay, here we go. Of course, as I talk about intensity, the next section is super mellow, super contrasting. There was a part of me that wondered if he was gonna sing and what he was gonna do with his vocals to match that section. So if they have a song that, I don't know, he does something completely different with his voice, I would love to hear it. Because as with all metal vocalists, I feel like they have, I feel like they have a wide range. It's just a matter of whether or not they want to use it all. So, yeah, this was cool. Like I said, I'm gonna look up the lyrics, have another listen, take it all in. I love the variety. I love the contrasting sections. I love the arc of the piece, how it really, it had such a great build, and then it was nonstop intensity, and then that last section just had so much flow to it. I guess it depends on the band of that particular decade that I'm thinking, but you know, it was giving maybe even like 70s, 80s, like certain rock bands. It had more of a rock feel as opposed to metal, but that was good. Okay. Oh, and then after I rewatched this, I can go back and watch the Olympic ceremonies performance, because I've heard, I haven't heard much about it. I just heard it was really exciting. So that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching with me, and hopefully I will see you next time.